Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harmonic Heart. We're a music blog dedicated to showcasing musicians' stories and talent. I'm your host, Chris Mallett, and we are back. We are back with D. Gibbs. D. Gibbs is an artist based in the DMV area. In October, he released a project, an album, Love Me Now, and now is October, and we're back in December. He is preparing to release a Christmas album. I've listened to the album. It's called The Gift. And, so I listened to it. There's great singing, of course. And I enjoyed the production and the arrangements. And it's my understanding that D. Gibbs was behind that production and arrangement, but we'll be able to get into that, more. And of course his artistic delivery of like rapping and more spoken pieces, and he has some cool concepts bringing relationship dynamics into the Christmas season. So we're gonna hear all about this. So yeah, welcome back, D. Gibbs, man.
Thank you for having me again. I'm really excited just to, share my second, baby and to kind of just, talk about a little bit of what the process was and, what creative outlet I kind of, um, I guess you would say, built within that.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, great. And in our first interview, we talked a lot about, your journey of developing your music and your skills and who your influences are and things like that. And, I think today we're gonna get to learn more about this Christmas album. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, how did you decide to create this Christmas album?
So I was the Love Me Now dropped in October 26th. And so I was like, wow, well what do I do now? Because I'm gonna start preparing for, my next project. But what do I, do? I was like, well the holiday season is coming up soon. And I've never did any holiday songs
Mm,
before. I've written songs like, years ago, but I've never really put them into, a production. So you know
mhm,
what? This this is despite the things that are going on in the world right now, and things that everyone are facing, because we have our own different journey through what's going on right now. I just decided, I just want to, if I can help somebody else out in the world during this holiday season, because I know that during the holidays is really tough for people.
right.
Whether you lost your loved ones around the holiday season, or you
Mhm,
don't, you know, it's just so much. You can't go home, and especially now things are 10 times more worse,
right.
because now you have people who you've seen got sick throughout the year, and
Right.
you know it- it's just so much that I can go on and on and on and say, and
Mhm,
it's our reality, unfortunately. But
yeah.
I felt that if I can help anybody, if it's just one person through the holiday season with just upbeat, fun stuff, or just
Mhm.
some smooth R&B stuff, or some poppity pop gum pop tracks, then okay, cool, let's do it.
Mm, sweet, definitely. I agree. And yes, of course, been a very challenging year with the pandemic and, even people being separated and just, not physically as connected. So I think the arts are really important, and you're bringing some, the special project. And um, yeah, it seems like this is a concept album. So how did this concept come together?
So okay, once I decided that I want to do a Christmas album, I said, okay, well, what kind of project do I want to do? Because you're so used to, as I guess as a listener, to hear when you think of Christmas music, you go, oh, okay, is it going to be super happy, cheery, do, or kind of slow and somber? So I was like,
Mhm.
well, I don't want to necessarily do the traditional route, because I'm a non-traditional guy. So I just was like, I want to make it like, for me, listening to music or Christmas music, what would I want to hear? And so I
Mm,
said, well, I want to hear something that's new, a little more upbeat, a little more fun, and get you in the spirit when you do hear the upbeat music. But sometimes you don't want to really hear all the upbeat. Sometimes you want to just chill in your car and drive, with your gifts in the back seat, just down the highway, bro, just calmly. So
right.
that's
Yeah.
why I have tracks like Oh
Mhm,
Santa,
mhm.
and tracks like Gift. Like they're just vibe, just
Right.
vibe
Yeah.
out, just vibe
Hmm. Yeah. All right. I like that. And you named it The Gift. Tell me about that. It seems like we were talking about just with this difficult time right now, and if the album can help people or just even one person, that would be a gift. And of course, that double meaning of it being Christmas is that kind of where you were coming from with that?
So originally I was going to name it. I was going to originally name it a Gibbs Christmas. Then I said,
Ah,
okay, well
right.
no, then let's do a Christmas mix up, and then it's just going to be
Okay.
mix up. So then
Mm,
I said, I want to, kind of capture the essence of it without it being too drawn out. And I feel like a Gibbs Christmas is kind of long. So
mm,
I said,
mm,
okay, well, what about gift? So then I said, okay, well, what about a gift? Then you got the gift, and then you have gift. So then I said, okay, well, a gift
mm,
is like, okay, well, I'm giving it to you, but then the gift is saying like, okay, well, this is it's not a gift like, oh, well, just here it is. It's the gift.
ooh,
It's directly to you.
mm, mm,
This is the gift.
wow.
This is the gift. No matter what you're going on and what you've endured through the year, this is the gift.
Mm,
And the gift can mean you're still alive. The gift can mean that you still may have a job. The gift mean that you still need to pay your bills because some people don't. The gift may be that you have food in your house because some people don't or can't afford it right now. So it's so many underlying things that kind of goes into this project, and I
mhm.
feel like the we all have gifts that we take advantage of. Just waking up is a gift, and
Right. Yeah.
so I just feel like I just wanted to be, that reminder of
Mm,
there's so many things that we have that we take advantage of and that are gifts.
uh, I really like that. Tell me about the album artwork.
Okay, so the album artwork, um, so it's funny because I really did not know what I wanted to do for that album artwork at all. And I was just was like, it's a Christmas album. What I want to do. I don't want to wear the traditional green and red, or I don't want to wear uh some kind of corny Santa outfit or
Mhm.
I didn't really want to do that because the
Okay.
project itself is reflected as a non-traditional album. So I didn't want to
Mm,
do anything, to status quo. So
hmm.
I said, okay, well, what can I do to kind of incorporate, the holiday colors and still make it fun, but still make it, me.
Mm.
And so I actually went and I had got washable paint and just
Mm.
started splattering it against this white
Oh,
backdrop I found.
okay.
So all that splatter, that's all stuff I just playing with.
Wow. Wow. That's very cool. And
Yeah.
that, and I think we might have talked about it during the first interview we had, but that just goes to show you again, just as an overall artist. Wow. Yeah, I thought that was already done like that. That's great. Interesting.
No, because in high school I actually really loved art, and so art
Mm.
class is one of my favorites, and I
Oh.
was, kind of, I guess, kind of let down when I got to
Mm.
college and was like, oh, there's no more art classes, I was like,
Oh.
oh man. But I did like art history, so it was kind of similar, but
Oh, I
I
see.
really enjoyed art, and so I just was like, okay, what can I do, that's different, but still could stick to what my brand is overall. So I was like, just go
Mm.
splatter some paint, and so you'll see like the greens in there and the reds, and things just
Mm.
like yellow in there and
Mhm.
orange, and just fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you have, the red pants as well, so it kind of sticks to that
Yeah,
traditional Christmas theme, but it's of course different
yeah.
overall. Yeah. You were gonna go into more detail about the songs, but what was your overall experience making this project?
Um, my overall experience, I would say it was. I would say it was. I feel like it was therapeutic for me
Mm,
because
mm.
I literally wrote the entire album in like 1 week.
Oh, oh wow.
So because I knew like going in, okay, what do I want to discuss? So then I say, okay, well, I'm gonna break it down into subcategories. And so
Mm.
then um from then hopefully I'm not answering your future questions with
Oh
with
no,
this
no.
response.
That's
But
no, go ahead.
so I basically did it where, okay, what I want to talk about. So I said, okay, well, I want to talk about, a relationship and things that you encounter over the holiday season. Okay, so then I say, okay, well, what subcategories would I talk about? I can talk about when you first meet somebody, or when you are, alone on Christmas, before meeting a person, or when you're together and you're just like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on here? Or the portions of, furthering your relationship along, or you know, it's just so much stuff that you can talk about. And so I kind of was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, what I want to, what do I really want to say? And so I kind of broke it down to subcategories, and then I said, okay, well, I don't want to just be a complete, me album. I want to add some covers in there too. So I did some covers in there of some
Mm-hmm.
classic songs, and so,
Yeah.
but I felt like I arranged them um on the track list way, in that way where, so it's not like what's going on, like everything, if you really think about it, everything really is kind of synchronized.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me the album was really, it was therapeutic and it was fun, and it was just, I was just being myself in my lab back here, my weird self.
Wow. So you're saying, yeah, you just in a week you knew the topics you wanted to hit on, the subtopics. Yeah, I think that's pretty fascinating then. So, some people they like to write by kind of discovering what the songs would be about, and you had already an idea, and then you were able to develop the songs going into it. Hmm.
Yeah, because, well, I'm not gonna say I, hit the nail on the, was it hit the hammer on the nail every
Oh
time,
yeah.
because
Hmm.
I originally uh, was like, okay, one of the songs we're gonna be talking about, I originally said being alone at Christmas, so that was um gonna be something else, but then it turned into oh Santa. So I'm like, okay, so the subject wasn't necessarily there like when I originally thought about it, but overall, I'm pretty good at getting the concept down. When
Mm,
once it's going, it's going. Sometimes I might gotta, write it down and erase it, and write it down and erase it again. But once
right,
it's
right.
going, it's going.
That's great. What did you learn from making this project?
What I learned, I would say, I learned. Wow, it's a hard one.
Yeah,
What did
that's
I
kind
learn?
of
I
you're
about
kind of just
myself.
finishing it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would say, there's different ways. Kind of what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about making music? I could say like, yeah, those two. Yeah.
Um, I would say what I learned about myself is that I am super dedicated. I mean, I know that I'm dedicated because, of what I do every day. But to start the preliminary process of an album, and to actually, go through with it, and you know, just to stand by it is just, it takes true dedication, because sometimes you're like, oh, that album, no, 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 stand by it. That's your work, and that's something that you took your time to do, and you're proud of it. Stand by it. I mean, it may have been the best production quality, and may have not been the best,
Mm-hmm.
vocally, or the best lyrically, but at
Mm-hmm.
some point in time, you were proud of that project. So,
Right.
stand by it. So I would say that I'm definitely, I realized I'm really a lot more dedicated than what I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I say, what would I say I learned about when creating the art? I
Mm-hmm.
would say that I learned, ah, I learned how to take, um, I learned how to take non, the, I guess, elements that you would not really think,
Mm-hmm.
and put together. Like for
Oh.
instance, in my song, uh, "Gift," the the choruses and the bridge has an undertone of monk sounds, like a monk choir.
Oh.
You would
Okay.
think to put that in Christmas music. Mostly there's like, choir acapellas, but not monk sounds. So
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just weird
Oh.
stuff.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That's really interesting. And I completely agree about that dedication and discipline to see albums through and sticking them, yeah, just sticking it through, seeing them through to finish. So yeah, that's a testament to your commitment to music, um, and to your goals. But yeah, that's admirable. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy process, but if you mentally are there, and if you really, value what you do, and if you really just, you don't have to necessarily do it for the attention, or do it, because you think it gives you some clout, whatever. But if you really do it for the love first, nothing else
Mm,
will really matter.
yeah. Uh, you mentioned that it was therapeutic making it. Just kind of the process of creating it was therapeutic, or was there any kind of specific? Did you feel like the writing of it, or kind of how were the concepts that you
I
talked
would
about, like getting those out? Was that therapy? Like, what part of it was therapeutic?
I would say honestly the writing of it, because I've been that person that I'm writing to, or
Mm-hmm.
and about, I guess you would say. Like for instance, with the songs "Oh Oh Santa" and with "Gift," how he used these songs, but with "Oh Oh Santa," I'm talking about how I'm alone at Christmas, and I just want somebody just to to be with, and kind of be in love with. And so I kind of asked Santa, like, if you have any, any kind of pull up there somewhere, just, help
Mm,
me out, somewhere,
yeah.
please.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've been there before, where, it's holiday season, and, you see everybody with somebody that, they're in love with or with, and it makes you feel, a kind of way, like, oh, dang,
Right.
like, dang, well, I will also backtrack and say, if you're happily single, d- don't don't listen to me. But if you are actively looking for, a boyfriend or girlfriend, or whatever, and it's the holiday season, and you kind of feel some kind of way because you feel like everybody around you is just, you know, having what you just only want to have.
Right. Right.
And it's unfortunate, but we all go through that sometimes.
Yeah.
We're a little salty, but
Yeah, yeah. New Year's used to be the holiday that would get me, like, that when the clock would strike,
the
and I'd be like,
the ball drops.
right, when the
Yeah.
ball drop, ah,
I
gosh,
don't know. New Year's was just like, okay, it is what it is. You drink sometimes, sometimes you just chill. But Christmas used to always get me. Christmas Eve and Christmas.
mm,
Yeah.
nice. Well, it's not nice at all. It's sad,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
feel
It's
you.
it's
I
sad.
feel you.
It's
Yeah.
really sad. And it's so funny because everybody has gone through it, but you don't really hear people talk about it so much. It's always
Yeah.
Christmas is fun, Christmas is cheery, but it's like, no, if you no, it's not. No, it's not always cheery, dang it. Especially if you
Right.
get broken up with on Christmas Eve. And which
Hmm.
which technically my song called Christmas Eve, that's what that's about too.
Oh gosh, I know. And you're like, dang, couldn't wait until January. Like, why you gonna do it on Christmas Eve? Yeah. Oh gosh.
Just
Yeah.
you couldn't wait just 2 more weeks until the new year comes, and then I'll just be fine with you. But you just gonna go ahead and do it over the holiday season? Okay, that's what
Yeah.
you do.
No, that is messed up. I mean, and it's literally, arguably, like, or at least for a lot of people, like the happiest holiday, like the best
Right.
holiday, like, right. So that kind of brings us to the next phase of the interview. We're talking broadly about the overall project. So for this next part, I was just thinking we can go through each song, and you can tell me what each is about and how it came together. I don't really have specific questions. I think it might just be interesting to hear for each song, like what it's about and how each came together.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. I think we kind of started on Christmas Eve. I'm not sure the specific order of the songs and things like that, but the way it comes up. Actually, I think the way it comes up for me is alphabetical, so I don't know if that's the track list, but um
Um, I if you I can't remember it. I know it's no, I don't remember. I don't remember.
all right, well, yeah, we can start with Christmas Eve then, because we touched on that, and yeah.
Okay. So with Christmas Eve, um, it kind of just talks about basically being broken up with on Christmas Eve, and I say, you know, here we go. We're getting almost through the holidays. I'm already saying, wait, no, wrong song. I have a lot going on over here, but I know
Yeah,
for
there's
Christmas
Christmas
Eve,
Eve, there's Christmas
there's
tree,
a lot of
there's
Christmas. There's a lot of
sexy
Christmas Eve. There's a
Christmas.
lot of
Yeah.
Christmas in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
So I think I say just as crazy and saying this couldn't wait until January. This Christmas Eve, you broke my heart, left me all in the dark. Where do I start picking up the pieces of my broken heart. Did this on purpose. Yes, you did. And I didn't deserve this. Thought we moved past all the hurt and all the pain. 365 days, and you picked this every day. Holidays will never ever be the same. My sadness on Christmas, baby, you are to blame. So basically, so that's a lot to digest first. But
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, it just talks about a relationship in, you know, it was rocky prior to the holiday season, but you wait until Eve,
Mm,
Christmas Eve to want to leave me. And it was kind of just really unfortunate. And I kind of put myself in the shoes of how would that feel, because I've never been broken up with on the holidays before.
mhm, mhm.
Um, and so it's like, well, like how would that person feel? And so I kind of tap into that person's shoes, or that person's mindset. And so I kind of just went from there. And so that's why the bridge is like, oh, you made me believe that we could achieve a lasting love that exceeds time, space, life, death, and in between. I was
Mm,
real blind, but you know what's cool though? True colors always show. Take your bags and just go.
mm,
So
mm,
at that point, I'm saying, okay, you know what? I'm accepting a little bit more of what you just did to me, but I'm still not okay with it. Well,
mm, mhm.
I'm a little more accepting now because I took some time. I've thought about it, and it's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Right, right. Man, man. Let me see. Um, yeah, it seemed like you had some, some guitar and like some bass in there. You're mixing like the
Yes.
R&B, you're mixing the soul, rap and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and I would say that's a common feature as well throughout the album. If you really listen
Right.
to it, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
it
like
is.
guitars and
Yeah.
bass and
Hmm.
the drums and some
Right. Yeah.
cymbals. It's really just like a retro funky vibe.
Right. Yeah. And well, yeah, I love like instrumental music like that. Just I play guitar, so when I noticed the tracks that had a guitar in it, and of course like when the
Hmm.
bass was knocking and like the drums, I know like we'll get to Jingle Bells, and I'm like, oh yeah, that kick drum is like it's hitting. Yeah. So
Hmm.
all right, sweet. Um, all right, Christmas tree, yeah.
Christmas tree. So, oh, Christmas tree slash Ye Faithful. So
Mm,
basically
mm,
a mashup. Um, so with Christmas tree, I was just like, I remember as a kid hearing "Oh Christmas tree, I
mm,
love beyond thy branches." I was like, okay, well, I should just include that in there. And
mm,
so I started doing some research and started hearing other artists' renditions. So I said, okay, well, I'm not gonna listen to too many other renditions, because when you hear another artist's rendition, you start to kind of like psych yourself out, because you're like,
mm.
oh, I don't sound like Aretha. Oh, I don't sound like
Oh
Frank
gosh.
Sinatra.
Mm,
Oh, I
mm,
don't sound like, I don't know, Kenny G, whoever. So you're like,
mhm,
so I was like, you know what? I can't do that. I'm not
mm.
gonna listen no more.
Right.
And so I went in and I said, okay, here we go. We're going to do the "Oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree." And then when that chorus hit, not only green when the summer's here, but also when it's cold and a little dreary. Stand tall, stand strong like that Christmas tree, because it's the holiday season. Just be happy that we made it another year. Toast to you, your family, and baby, all of your friends. Jingle, 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 jingle bells. So I kind of spice it up a little bit. It's not so like Christmas tree, real dragged out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like some of your, acting comes through in your music sometimes, with just different voices and kind of like a theater element. And you're like,
Yeah.
you're like, cue the choir, and then like the choir, oops, and then the choir comes in and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Because I was making, when I was, producing it, I'm like, okay, how else can I make Christmas tree, crazy and over the top and theatric? And
Right,
so I was like, cue the choir. I'm like,
right.
and it reminded me of the voice from the Austin Powers movies, where she's like, the
Oh,
letter, eight,
yeah.
8, 7. So I was like, oh my
Right.
gosh, I have to do that. So I'm like, cue the choir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. And Deck the Halls. Yeah,
Deck
it's
the
a good one.
halls.
Hmm.
Um, for that one, I wanted that to be a little more like I guess gritty.
Mm, mm.
but a little more like racy. Like just
Oh,
you feel the energy of it. It's like deck the halls of folly. Yeah, dun, dun, fa, la, 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 la. It's like kind of like hard and a little racy and edgy.
right. Yeah.
That's kind of
Hmm.
what I was going for Deck the Halls. And usually you hear Deck the Halls of
Uh,
folly, la, 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 la,
yeah, yeah.
la. So real kind of, I guess, mainstream poppy friendly-ish, and I kind of was
Hmm.
like, no, I
Right.
don't want to do that. I want something to be a little more hard, a little more
Mm, mm.
edgy. And
Uh,
so that's kind of what I went for when Deck the Halls. And then when you hear that Deck the Halls of Holly, yeah, la, 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 la. And I kind of play also with the textures and just backgrounds and
mm,
notes, and I really
mhm.
had fun with that one. And
Uh,
so I add like a rap verse in there too. The
right. Yeah. Mhm.
holidays always make me feel some kind of way. Family coming far and from near to wide to celebrate. Baby Jesus in this joyous time. Don't forget the family member who's always late, procrastinating, didn't want to dip at the second plate. The good times, the good vibes, accentuate the positive and joy this year. Try to say,
Oh, went off.
yeah, all in one breath. Whew.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that one did stick out to me. Um, yeah, and it's that's another example of you adding your own artistic interpretation to a traditional song. Hmm.
Yeah, because because I felt like that particular song was just it's just so honestly, I feel like it's flat. Like when a person sings it, it's like it's flat.
Mm,
Unless you have like some kind of, um choir arrangement or some kind of, bigger arrangement, Deck the Halls can honestly fall so far by the wayside because of it doesn't like lyrically, it's not that much going on lyrically.
yeah.
So you kind of have to play with other things to kind of, make, amp it up and juice it up a little bit. And so I was like, hey, I could, it's so repetitive. So okay, what can I do? So I was like, you know what, I'll make it a little more rough, a little more
Mm,
edgy, and add
mm,
some, so you hear like, I don't know, it's like I think it's drums in there, or it's like I think it's what was my favorite part of there? I think my favorite part is the bridge where it's like the hi-hats and they're
mm,
going
mm,
crazy and that
mhm,
bass is going crazy. That's my favorite
mm,
part of Deck the Halls.
mm.
Oh, and the rum pum 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 pum
Oh,
rum pum
right,
pum pum.
right.
Yeah,
Oh, true, true. Yeah, yeah.
that's one of my favorite parts of that.
Uh, and what about Jingle Bells?
Jingle bells. Um, for Jingle Bells, I honestly listened to Frank Sinatra's
Mm,
rendition of
mm,
Jingle Bells, and so I was like, his is like, I had the Jinge bells still. Oh oh, his is a little more like Hallmark commercialish, and so I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do that exactly, but I want to kind of capture the essence of that. And so um I just like, okay, back in his time, they mainly, focus on a lot of, live instruments and a lot of, drums and um a lot of um I guess you say violins and a lot of,
right. Hmm.
simple but
Yeah.
yet nice, beautiful arrangements.
Mm, hmm.
And so for Jingle Bells, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do slow per se because it's kind of expected for Jingle Bells to be really slow. And so what I did was I came in was like, how can I make this thing, still be along with the theme of the album. So when you hear that. Dum, 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 brr, bum, 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 bum. Dashing through the snow, 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 and the world's off and sleds us like all that feels we go, laughing all the way. That made it fun. And then that
Yeah.
guitar at the end sets it. That
Mm,
guitar at the
uh,
end sets it for me.
uh, uh, and the let me see. Yeah, yeah. Another song I think similar. Oh Santa. With the violin and the acoustic guitar too, right?
Yeah, so for Oh Santa, honestly, Oh Santa was inspired by Tony Braxton's Christmas album. Her Christmas album was called Snowflake of Love, I think. And it's a
Mm,
song on there. It's like hold on, tongue tied, tired. Hers is called
yeah.
Santa Please. She's basically
Mm,
saying bring her baby home. He's stuck out on a flight somewhere and they can't be together for Christmas. And so kind of
Mm,
like I was really inspired by that particular arrangement. And I was like,
right.
oh, I love this. And so
Mm,
how can I kind of add it, in a Gibbs
right.
twist into the
Yeah.
project? And so I went and it became Oh Santa. And so Oh
Mm,
Santa, I feel like it's a little more, I guess you would say, has crossover mainstream appeal to it because it's, not so much going on, but it's really a really beautiful song.
mm. Yeah, and tell me about, the concept behind O Santa. Yeah.
For Oh Santa, I really just wanted to be scaled back a lot because I'm gonna admit I do love crazy beats. I love
Mm,
crazy arrangements. I love extravagant, exotic. That's just my style. I just
mhm,
I'm so used to hearing R&B growing up. There R&B was kind of it's not so um I guess progressive. It's
mhm,
really subtle touches to things and make it
mm.
sound different. Not more so like boom bass, boom
Uh,
drums. So
mhm,
for me, I'm just like tear down all the stigma. I don't want that. I want something different from my own sound. And
mhm,
so for Santa, I really had to kind of scale it back. Like whoa whoa whoa, Gibbs, coming back, come back, come back, come
mm,
back, son.
mm,
So you just hear just those trap hi hats subtly in there, and you'll hear those panning out violin sounds. You hear so you hear subtle touches here and there. So I just show my versatility. I can do both. I can do edgy
mm,
and hard and rocker, and I still can kind of scale it back, give you soft Gibbs,
mm, mm.
calm Gibbs.
Man, yeah, I think that seems pretty key, to have that diversity, and that's one of your goals, to be able to show these different sides. That takes a sense of self control as well, to have to pull that back and be like, I could go a lot of different directions with this, but let me like
Yeah.
scale it back, come down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially when you're listening, especially when you're listening like back to, the music. I think already done it. You're like, oh, I should put that there. Or, oh, let's add some adlibs there. But then you think, okay, what vibe am I going for? You can do all the things you want, but what vibe are you going for? Are you going for a calm tone? Are you going for a somber and sorrow, kind of aesthetic? Okay, well then that doesn't require a lot of ad-libs. That doesn't
Mm,
require, you changing the key abruptly out of nowhere just because you want to. If
mm,
it's a vibe, it's a vibe. Don't if a person listening to it and for 2 minutes 30 seconds, the whole entire song is just chill and they vibing to it, they sleeping. All of a sudden you hear boom dashing through the snow, like whoa
mm.
whoa
Yeah, yeah.
whoa. They're gonna be like what's going on
Right,
there?
right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like, you're being, you know, cognizant of the intention behind, the art and the songs.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely 100%.
Yeah. Well, next, the first single from the project, "Sexy Christmas."
Oh, so Sexy Christmas. So um Sexy Christmas was actually written. This was the song that I talked about prior. Sexy Christmas was
Mm.
written uh 3 4 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
3 or 4 years ago. It was a while ago, but it
I
was
see.
written because I wanted to do like a Christmas song, a single, and I never it never happened due to me not having equipment and all that good stuff. Da, 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 da. So fast
Mm.
forward to now, I said, you know what? Because I was originally going to do 8 songs, so Six Christmas was not going to be on
Oh.
there originally. So then I
Mm.
said, well, this song's been sitting in my notes for 3 4 years. Like I need to just put it out, and
Mm.
so I went in and I tweaked it a little bit, cleaned it up a little bit, add some, nice little vocal arrangements to it. And so it became Sexy Christmas. And Sexy Christmas
Uh,
also is another song that I kind of scaled back on a little bit too,
okay. Mm.
because it's kind of a traditional R&B song, still with a holiday twist to it. And
Mm.
so I um I was like, okay, it's okay. So it's Sexy Christmas, and the tone's kind of just real slow and sensual. So I can't just abruptly go out of nowhere and be like, do 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 do. Do. So you won't hear that much of a change in tone or too much in the change of just key because with R&B, it's just it's a vibe. Like I said, it's a vibe.
Right. Yeah. Hmm. And we wish you a Merry Christmas.
So with We Wish You Merry Christmas. We Wish You Merry Christmas. I believe that was the last song I did
Mm,
to
mm,
finish out the album. I believe that was the
mm,
last song.
mm. Okay.
Yeah, it was the last song. It was the last song. And at first I was like, okay, what what do I want to what how do I want to come like how do I want to approach this? And so at first I was like, okay, well, the song is "We Wish You a Merry Christmas, We Wish," that's the traditional arrangement of it.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, I don't mind doing that. And so it took me a minute. It took me a minute
Mm, mm,
because it's kind of a difficult song in a sense because the lyrics are kind of like dated and oh yield tide and all that good stuff.
mhm,
So I was like, okay, well, how can I kind of bring that into 2020 a little more modern twist? And so what I did was I kind of played around with a lot of like southern I guess trap sounds
mm,
and a lot
mm,
of like southern undertones and beats and stuff like that and just um mostly bass, just
mm, mm,
like southern bass. And so I kind of
mm,
just played with that. And so I just had fun with that part. So the beginning is
mm.
kind of like real slow and do 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 and kind of like chill. But then once you hear that figgy 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 woo figgy figgy, so that part was actually inspired by Rihanna.
Oh, Riri.
Yeah,
We
like
all
her
love her.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, because her song "Where Have You Been All My Life."
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where have you been all my life? I see. Okay. Sweet. So, so that was, for We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And we seem to have lost D Gibbs for a little second, but I'm sure he's connecting when he can. We're Harmonic Heart. I'm your host, Chris Mallett, and we're talking with D Gibbs about his Christmas album, The Gift. And yeah, this has been interesting hearing about his art. Um, this is a concept Christmas album. He's been talking to us about how he's been um, just adding new interpretations to his to traditional Christmas songs, and really making them his own. And he is an artist overall. For his project "Love Me Now," which came out before this in October, he um, essentially directed one of the music videos for that, and it came out really great. You can hear us talk more about that in our previous interview. Um, D. Gibbs is also a producer. So, during the pandemic, he's really been really fleshing out his production skills and arrangement skills. And it's my understanding that most of what he knows in production, he's learned during the pandemic, during quarantine. So I think, that requires a lot of skill and patience and discipline to learn all those skills. And I think, the speed in which he's learning it um, is quite fascinating. So, this is his second project that he's putting out over the pandemic, and yeah, he's still going. So, there are two more songs on um, the Gift album that we haven't really gotten to talk about. Um, One is "Kiss Me Till New Year," and the other one is the title track, "The Gift." So, um, we're waiting for D Gibbs to connect again. So hopefully he must have had, just a technical issue, but hopefully that is resolved very soon. Okay. D Gibbs also talked with us about his album artwork, and you know, yeah, it's quite creative how he just use paint and splash the paint onto a whiteboard, and yeah, I'm imagine took that picture himself. So D Gibbs, of course, he sings, he raps, he produces, arranges, writes his music. Um, he also models, and um, he acts as well. And so he incorporates just various types of art to essentially manifest and put into the world his ideas, his concepts, his messages. So it's just interesting to um, to learn and to see him put his art out there, put himself out there and his ideas. Okay, and he is back. So wonderful, great. So alrighty, great. So we have D Gibbs. He is connecting with us again. So that is great. I'm glad he's able to connect back with us. So that's wonderful. He's just getting, set up again as, his connection restores. And we're going to hear about, the last two songs on his Christmas album, The Gift. Yeah, so that's wonderful. And
Amen.
we're looking forward to that. And he's just getting settled. So make sure, that you all go listen to The Gift if you haven't already. Follow D Gibbs on social media. Um, yeah, listen to our first interview if you haven't. So we have D Gibbs. He's back.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I am very sorry.
That's okay. I was just here talking with the people about, you and your, creative process and how you um, learned most of your production knowledge just over the pandemic. And that's quite
Yes.
wild. Yeah.
Hope I wasn't gone for too long. My phone had died.
Oh, I
Embarrassing.
figured, it happens and it's understandable. I'm just here with the people, I have a common voice. If they really wanted to, they could have skipped skipped past me, just talking, but we're back and yeah, so I think we're all good. And
Okay.
yeah, we were talking about we wish you a Merry Christmas, and I'm curious about Kiss Me Till New Year. So these last two I only got to preview, but yeah, tell me about Kiss Me Till New Year.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna backtrack so I can
Oh
finish out.
sure. Oh yeah,
We wish you a
definitely.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we had finished
Sorry.
that out. So please, all you want to say, please share it.
Um. Okay, so for the Figgy, that part was kind of inspired by Rihanna's "Where Have You Been All My Life" because
Oh
it's
right,
kind of
right,
like
yes.
EDM, like kind of just popping, kind of EDM mix. So I kind of like drew inspiration from that, and then my
Yeah.
talking parts basically so basically "We Wish You Merry Christmas" is kind of like it's kind of like creepy-ish, like stalkerish.
Mm,
It's like
mm.
it's like you guys need to calm down. So my in my portions where I'm talking, I'm like guys, like
Oh.
it's not that serious. I get you on some Vicky pudding. Calm down. It's not that
Mhm,
serious. And so by the
mm.
end of the song, I'm just like, you know what? Just take it because I'm tired. Like, just take it. I gotta
Right,
go. I gotta
right,
go.
right. Man, man. Huh. Interesting. I'll have to listen back, with that lens now to catch
Yeah,
it.
it's like almost because they're like we won't go till we get some. So in the original arrangement, it's like we won't go until we get some. We won't go until
Mm.
we get some. So I'm just
Oh
like.
yeah.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
we
Oh,
ain't leaving
okay.
till we get some. You want the whole thing and not a half or a crumb? You better run it up.
Mm,
It's really
mm,
cold outside. We ain't got no chill, so don't waste our time.
mm.
So when you hear him saying
Okay.
like, don't no no no, don't never ever waste it. No no no, don't never ever waste it. No no no, don't never
Mm-hmm.
ever waste it. Yeah,
Huh. Huh.
it takes you on a ride.
I see. Now I have to like, yeah, go back and look at the lyrics and be like, what are they really saying here?
Yeah,
Like, is this
yeah, it's really
okay? Like, are we
stalkerish.
okay with this? Type of thing. So,
It's really stalkerish.
okay, yeah, that's wow. Yeah. For the record,
But but
Harmonic
honestly,
Heart's
if you
not okay with stalkers.
no. We're not endorsing stalkerish ish
Yeah.
tendencies or stalkers at all. But I'm saying as far as in like, if you really think about and you really hear the original arrangement, we give us something, you put in, we want some right now. It's sounding a little stalkerish, a little
Hmm.
demanding. I just shed
Hmm.
more light on it and kind of made it a little more darker. But
Yeah.
originally, the lyrics were a little stalkerish.
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness.
So
Yeah.
scary.
Gosh. Ooh. Hey, well,
So you makes you think
yeah.
now.
I know. I'm thinking like, we're calling it out, and yeah, and it's important that we, question, what was the society okay with, before and things like that. So,
A whole lot of stuff they were okay with. We're not going to get into our children's nursery rhymes.
all right. Oh yeah. Yeah, those dark messages and yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a whole
kiss
nother
me too.
podcast.
Right. That'll be the woke podcast. Nah, kiss me till the new year.
Gets me to New Year's. So I've noticed a common theme in a lot of Holly albums is there's always a song to end out, saying how the year's, the year's been fun and we're enjoying Christmas now, but we still have to make sure we're thinking about the ending it off the final chapter, New Year's, and then refreshing the page again.
Mm,
So for Christmas to New Year's, I kind of wanted to kind of talk about not even more so a relationship, just more so it's just, I guess, the mood of holiday, like the
mm,
overall mood, or either you're happy, you're sad, you're stressed, you're hungry, you're tired, everything in between. So the course is like back to back, back Halloween, back to back to back Thanksgiving, back to back to back Christmas Eve, back to back to back Christmas Day. Everything is so busy and so near, but don't forget to kiss me on New Year's. It's basically saying yes, we're together, and honestly, mentally I'm tired. Like as a human
mhm.
being, we have a lot to endure, especially in the
Right.
21st century that we're in. We got a lot of things that's pulling us different directions. We got our personal life, we got business, we got careers, we got kids, we got jobs, we got cars, and so much technology, social media, like that
Mhm.
alone in itself is a whole different ball game. So we have a lot of
Mm,
things that's drawing our attention in different places, and then you add the holidays on
right.
top of it. We're
Yeah.
like, it's back to back. You're like Drake, back to back, back to back. So,
Right. Yeah. Ooh.
and it really is back to back. They're like what, I think Halloween and Thanksgiving are like what, 3 weeks apart,
Right. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then Thanksgiving and Christmas is like what, 3 weeks apart. Everything is like
Hmm.
back to back. Like,
It is. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and just closing out the year. Yeah. Yeah, and even that, kiss me till New Year. That even just from the title, like that idea is kind of what people want. That affirmation and that sentiment. But it's also, I guess, comfort as well during such a stressful time too. Hmm. Yeah.
no, I definitely can agree. It definitely is kind of that confirmation of we'll be okay. And the album kind of takes you on a ride of being single and not having love, or being with somebody and then breaking up with you, or being in love and everything's great, or but like how with Gift is kind of that uncertainty of like, uh I don't know if we talked about Gift or not. I really don't remember right now. Did we talk about Gift?
No, we didn't. We didn't
No,
talk
we didn't.
about. No, we didn't talk
Oh,
about gifts. So that was yeah. So I,
I'm not
you
for
know,
sure that was
I
coming up or not. I'm sorry.
yeah. So I figured we can. I thought it might make sense to end on gifts since it's the
Oh,
title track.
no. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Never mind. I'll go back to
Oh
what we were
no,
talking
no reason to
about.
apologize. Yeah. No,
Um, but
sounds good.
but but definitely with Kiss Me to the End was kind of confirmation that we'll be all right. And yes, we're going through these things, and even if you're single, and even if you're with somebody, or if you're going through something, like, you will be okay. It's going to take some time, and with the world, around us, it's like the same thing. It's going to take some time. It won't be happening overnight, but just know that the holiday season doesn't last forever. You know.
Hmm. Oh, I see. Okay. And what about the gift?
Gift. Okay, so the reason, so not even the reason. I think the inspiration I drew behind Gift was more so being with somebody and just being so madly in love, and you want to further the
Mhm.
relationship. So that's why I say, you know, was it you and I sharing one last name? I love you hard, despite ups and downs. What I hate to say, but meet me down the aisle. And then I do, I do, I do, I do. Kiss me on the lips. What a perfect Christmas gift. Basically saying,
Mm.
you know, I love you. I'm in love with you. And yeah, our ups and downs. But every relationship has those.
Mm.
And so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you're the only person I want to endure that with. So,
Mm.
would you do me the honor of being, mine's forever? And that would be the perfect Christmas gift. I wouldn't, want for anything else but for that to be, my gift.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really
So
sweet. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, real sweet. Now the bridge I kind of made it so where, um, I guess you would say me, I'm proposing, I guess. So you would make it seem like
Mm-hmm.
where okay, it's like, okay, well, I love you. I just want to make sure you love me too. Like, we're on the same
Mm.
page.
Yeah.
We're on the same right eye, right? So,
Right. Yeah. Oh. Hmm. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we went through. I think that's all the songs. Kind of anything come to mind about them that you feel like, oh yeah, like that's another thing I wanted to share about, this song or that song.
um, oh wow. I mean, yeah. Well, for Oh Santa, I definitely, um, I tried to not cry
Really? So
when
you're
we're
really.
recording it.
Hmm.
Yeah, because you know when you've kind of been that person consecutively, like years in a row, it's kind of like hard to kind of deal with.
Right.
And so when you're talking about it, years later, and you're just like, okay, you know, I had to put myself back into that mind space again because it
Mm.
was definitely difficult to
Yeah.
endure that at that time period.
Hmm.
So it was a little emotional. I wouldn't say I was gonna cry like ball out tears,
Mm.
but
Mm.
not just get so emotionally invested. Like, I mean, I'm invested in my music, yes, but I try not to get too because I know I can like
Mm.
really deep dive in.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's interesting how, you know, feelings can get reinforced and, thought patterns. And it's, kind of as we mentioned, like just each year being in the same situation. It could
Hmm.
also, there can be thoughts that come up about like, okay, well, how come I don't have someone right now? Like, even, it can, people can question like, is there anything wrong with me in this situation? And like,
Oh
maybe,
yeah,
and
yeah. I did that sometimes, and I feel like that's honestly when you grow as a person. When you're younger, not to say that young people are stupid, but when you're younger, you make difficult decisions, sometimes different decisions, and sometimes you make um rash decisions. And I also feel like you think differently when you're younger. You aren't exposed to much things when you're younger, depending
Mhm,
on the person. Not to say
yeah.
everybody is. When you get
Mhm,
older, it's just things start to click. Like, huh? Some just go click, and you're like, okay, yeah.
mm, mm. Man, yeah, that's interesting too. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about, you know, yeah. I mean, essentially, us getting into adulthood and like living more life, kind of the
Hmm.
maturity that comes and like the beginnings of wisdom of like actually having lived, some life as an adult and
Hmm.
yeah, those experiences and some clarity and like
A
you're
lot of
saying, like some
a lot of
things
clarity.
just, clicking and like you just understanding or um, and even thinking about, I guess it depends on the person, but I know for me, like having my own like sense of worth less dependent on someone else helps as well. And
Yes.
that's been a lot of, growth for me that I've, had to do recently. So that makes a lot of sense. So I mean, even like if I'm in this different place now, so I could just imagine that, me having to go mentally back to those same thought patterns I had when I was younger, um, that would just bring up some of those same feelings. So that makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And like what to touch on what you said, as far as in, you know, find having to find happiness for yourself and not, try to seek it in other people, because honestly, no one's job, title, no one's responsibility is your happiness. Your happiness is your responsibility. If you're not happy, you can be whoever you want, the most perfect person in the world. You won't be happy because you're not happy with yourself. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
I, didn't know those things when I was younger. You didn't, you just thought, oh, I want to be somebody, do. And then when you start realizing, honestly, I need to work on myself. And so that took three long years of me being happily single. Honestly, I
Yeah.
really was just like, I don't want to deal with
Yeah.
nobody. I
Yeah.
don't, because
Hmm.
it was just, I felt like it was just a pattern that I was starting to develop as in a young
Right.
adult in my,
Exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
18, 19, 20. I'm like 21, like,
Hmm.
whoa, I'm trying to find
Right.
happiness,
Yeah.
find happiness in other people.
Yeah.
Needs to
Right.
needs to come from
Exactly.
here first.
Hmm. Right. And like you said, it's a pattern. So sometimes, you mentioned 3 years. So I felt like for me, I had to like block out, things and people, and I was, kind of blocking out a lot of like external validation. So it makes sense even to me that, going through multiple cycles of blocking that stuff out helps to create a new pattern type of thing. So yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's kind of where um I kind of had to kind of tap into that old me, but then I didn't want to make it so deep. So that's kind of why I was kind of say, oh Santa, like, please, if you could send somebody for me. But I'm not saying like, oh, I'm in dire need. I'm just saying, I wonder if you're home tonight, snuggled up with a new guy, surrounded by your family, or just patiently waiting for me. So, I'm curious as to know, where you are, but I'm not like, please, oh Jesus, no, please, come on, set them down to me.
Right.
I'm
Right.
just,
Yeah.
but I'm just casually saying, well, I mean, Santa, I'm here. So please, you can send me somebody. That'd be great. But I'm not saying I'm going to die if I don't have that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
Yeah.
also kind of made it fun, with bring on your boys. Tell them come now before the white snow start coming down. So kind of like
Uh,
a little, fun, a joke of it a little
oh,
bit.
nice. Right. Right. Yeah. Not having, like, it'd be nice, but it's not like everything depends on this type of
Right,
one person type thing. Yeah. I see.
right, right. So it's kind of me. It's kind of me jumping back to that state of mind of, oh, I need someone, but it's me modernly saying, I won't perish if I don't
Mm,
have this. So it's
yeah.
kind of like kind of teetering that fine line.
Mm, yeah. Okay. Mm,
Yeah.
sweet. Do we know a date that it's coming out, or are we saying like to be determined, like just follow D Gibbs to, and watch closely to know when this is, coming?
It will be coming out this Wednesday. So
Oh.
December 9th. It will be out. It will be out to the world to indulge in and
Mm-hmm.
to, reflect on. And I honestly feel like I honestly say my favorite tracks to 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 have made would
Mm-hmm.
be Jingle Bells, because it was just
Right.
I was in my studio cutting up, and I would say We Wish You Merry Christmas, because I kind
Mm.
of like channel my inner Brandy. So
Hey.
you hear a lot of like vocal breathy notes and a lot
Mm.
of like
Yeah.
whispery tones and all that good
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely We Wish You Merry Christmas, and definitely Jingle Bells is like one of my favorites to have made,
Mm-hmm.
because it was just really fun to just break the mold. And Deck the
Right.
Halls too.
Right.
Deck the Halls is kind of my rocker
Yeah.
edgy side coming out.
Right. Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Hmm.
Do you have any
Yeah.
favorites?
Hmm. Yeah. I liked that kick drum for Jingle Bell stuck out to me, and Deck the Halls stuck out to me too. Yeah, I really liked. Oh Santa, and like you were saying, like the violin, that acoustic guitar. Yeah,
Hmm.
so those are um, the ones that I would say, stuck out to me the most.
Yeah, I just have fun with it, and I mean, I always say I have fun with it, but I really do. I honestly have fun with it. I try not to go into it like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, click, 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 click. I go into it like, okay, what I want to create, what I want to do, what I want to have, what sounds do I want do I want to hear, what do I want to place here, and so honestly, I just go into it and I make the beat, and I'm doing that. I don't go, I'm gonna make the Kiss Me to New Year's beat. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
playing around with stuff, and then it turns into Kiss Me to New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see.
yeah,
Mm.
just
Wow.
have fun with it. Don't take yourself too serious. I always say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess it is art at the end of the day, and it's meant to,
Right.
be something people connect with, and um, it can be light, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
also meaningful.
yeah, definitely meaningful, and I feel like with a lot of Christmas albums, I felt like they kind of lacked a personal touch to it. I feel like it was just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna sing these covers of these traditional songs, and then we give you maybe two original songs, and that's it. It's like, okay, there you go. That's my
Mm-hmm.
Christmas album. Leave me alone. And so for me, I was like, no,
Right.
I wanna, I wanna basically, you know, pen a personal letter through my music to my fans. Like, this is how I feel. This is how I see things. This is me making light of the stalkerish moments, and we wish him Merry Christmas, and me
Mm-hmm.
having upbeat tones for Jingle Bells, or me making
Mm-hmm.
Deck the Halls rockier and edgier. So just generally just switching up the normal and making you think outside the box, because I felt like I've I've boxed myself mentally for so long, growing up wanting to be an R&B artist. Like, I want to be an R&B, I want R&B, I want to be an R&B artist. I want to be, I want to just get on stage and belt and sing. And it's like, okay, you can do that still, but what else? Because they're gonna get tired of saying that sometimes. They're gonna, what else? And then it gets into the realm of music. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, how many times you gonna make the same album? How many times you gonna make the same R&B album? Okay, you gonna hit me with the same set of 14 songs every 2 years, right? Okay, all right, that's fine. And that's no problem. Like, for people out there who want to do that, that's fine. Me personally, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna push and challenge myself every single time, and I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel, because that's not what I'm doing. What I'm here to do, but I am here to add my
Mm-hmm.
own flavor and my own style.
And that is something that did stick out to me with this album overall, is that you did make it personal. Like, it was like, personal stories coming through, um, bringing, like, your personal stories into, these Christmas songs, into the Christmas season, like kind of personal relationship dynamics. So, that was something that really came through for me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
All
I
right.
definitely
Well,
tried to.
yes. Well, all right, everyone. Please stream The Gift album by D
The
Gibbs,
gift,
out December 9th.
the
The
gift,
Gift.
the
And,
gift, the
you
gift.
know, and if it's, past December 9th, when you're hearing this podcast, when you're watching this interview show, then just go and stream it. We have
Yeah.
oh, yeah, well, we'll have the links in the description of this as well. So you can just listen right here. Um, any final words for the people?
Mm, I would say final words. I would say that. Well, I would say. Well, I have, I guess, a final paragraph. I
Yeah,
would
go ahead.
say
Yeah.
the holiday season isn't, you know, it isn't the end all to be all. You're going to be fine. The holiday season is only for what? Okay, right, generally 4 months. But you don't really feel affected by about Halloween. You just get out and get wasted with your friends, do. But not to not to devalue a person's experience. But I just feel like you'll be okay. And if you ever feel like no one connects with you or no one knows your story, knows your struggles, I know your struggles because we all are in some way connected together by our experiences, or our upbringing, or our beliefs, or our intentions. We're all connected. No one is so strangely different than the rest. We're all connected in some way, shape, or form. And so, if you feel like no one's out there, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Mm.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
for the gift, I feel like it's not your traditional Christmas album. So if you going thinking that it is, it ain't. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm gonna let you know that now.
Mm.
But if you want
Mm.
to just have fun and aesthetically just let loose and be free and not feel so conformed to what the world wants you to do, wants you to say, check it out. And even the cover
Mm.
art, it's like me against a abstract art backdrop. I mean, with me, big hair and jeans. That's it. And it's basically saying, I'm almost stripping down who I am
Mm.
to give
Mm.
you a better sense of who I am, and also to make you feel more comfortable. If you feel like, oh, I don't know, this holidays kind of, I'm really stressed. Calm down. If I can strip down,
Mhm.
take it off,
Right. Yeah.
you'll
Mhm.
be okay. You'll be okay. If I can scale back, to me, to people who know me, they know I'm really all over the place sometimes. And but for me to kind of scale back a little bit and just show you a little more of a personal side, if I can do that, I promise you'll be okay.
Mm. Yeah. It's a really important message, commendable message, to be heard. Yeah. Mhm. Yes. Well, everyone, please follow D Gibbs on social media. He's got Instagram, Twitter. I think you have YouTube. You have
Yes,
YouTube.
yes. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, um, website, my own website.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, yes, I'm working on my Twitch soon. That will be
Oh,
this
wow.
weekend's project. I'm
Mm.
working on that, so I'm coming for Twitch. But
Hey.
I'm yeah, I'm on everything except for Pinterest. Well, I don't have
Oh.
Pinterest
Mm-hmm. Well,
or
fire.
OnlyFans.
Well. Oh man. Well, yeah. Thank you again for coming on to Harmonic Heart to share your project with us. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate just the love and the support. I appreciate it.
Mhm. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And enjoy talking with you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I will be back. Hopefully, I'll be back soon for the springtime because I got something cooking up.
All right, man. D Gibbs, prolific artist. So yeah, you're welcome back, man.
Thank you so much.